welcome to Cooking with Fiona. Today we're supposed to be cooking, that is, cherry crumble. Well, I searched all over Bermuda for cherries, Bing cherries. I couldn't find any frozen or anything. So we're gonna do berry crumble today. It's a very easy recipe, as all of the recipes are very easy. So we have 2 pounds of berries, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, which we are gonna put in a pot, and we're gonna macerate these berries for up to 20 minutes. And then this is a delicious topping. It's called hazelnut streusel. So it's 1½ cups of flour, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 2/3 a cup of hazelnuts, and 3/4 cup of cold butter cut into cubes, and a teaspoon of sugar. So we're gonna start. We're gonna put the berries, all these berries, and the berries are blueberries, strawberries. They're a combination of many, many berries. And we are going to turn that fire on, and we're going to put a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. So we stir that up. So you just let that liquid absorb for 20 minutes. So while I am waiting for these berries to macerate, I'm going to introduce you to Mark Jordan. He's a home inspector or a structural surveyor, and he works for on-site engineering. On-site engineering compiles of very young, bright engineers, and electrical engineers, structural engineers, building bridges. Anyway, Mark, it's a new company, been established for about 4 years, I believe. Mark has his master's of engineering in civil engineering. Can you stand that? I mean, that's unbelievable. He's worked in the UK, he's worked in India, building bridges, and he now has been working for 4 years in Bermuda for on-site engineering. He's carried out numerous home inspections or structural surveys over the last 4 years. So, welcome. How are you, sweetheart? Nice to see you.
Hey, Fiona. Thanks for having me on board.
So nice. Thank you for coming.
Really happy to be here.
Really, really sweet of you. And so, Mark, while this is macerating, that's a new word. So it's
looking good.
It's looking good. It's good. While that's macerating, I'd like you to tell me what you do here for on-site engineering.
So I'm a civil structural engineer, but have been leading the home inspection side for on-site recently. My job is to come into a home and inspect it in detail, looking for any defects or deficiencies, and make the potential buyer aware of them.
Fabulous. That's what we need. You know, we don't want someone to buy a house and all of a sudden the roof caves in or the electrics burn the house down. And so we want everybody to feel happy and secure in what they're buying. And that's what I do.
A home is the biggest investment most people will make in their lifetime, and it's important to make sure that that investment is protected. And that's what a home inspection can provide you, and what I'll bring to the table.
Thank you. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So we are going to turn this on. So it's been about 20 minutes, I guess. Pretty close to. So I'm going to turn this on. You can stir this because we cannot.
I'll have to get involved here.
Yeah, you get involved. I don't look at me. So how did you enjoy living in India?
It was the best experience of my life.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, the culture difference to live and experience was just amazing. The work experience I gained there, the people I met, it was, I still constantly reflect on it.
Yeah, oh wow. So in India, you were actually building bridges.
Yeah.
And just securing bridges or
I was
rebuilding?
involved in the design of 2 bridges. We were doing
Wonderful.
CAD 3 checks for them.
Yeah, I told you that my husband's been there 25 times. God bless him. Anyway.
I'm jealous, I want to go back.
Well, it's a very interesting country. It's got so many different facets. And it's huge. It's absolutely huge.
Massive, massive. So is the point to reduce this down?
The point is to reduce it down so that it has the cornstarch in it, and that makes it thicken. And it will, once it gets cracking up, and it's got to get heated up a little bit. So I've turned the oven on, by the way. It's 350.
So you'll add this butter after this reduces down?
No, I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to make what is called a crumble.
Okay.
I've been making crumble since I was 12, by the way.
Okay.
And so I know how.
I don't think I've made one crumble yet. This is my first.
Well, there you go. So you watch me, and that's what I used to do with my mom. I used to watch her cook, and that's how I learned how to cook. And so she was a very good cook. My sister's a good cook.
I feel like a lot of people that get into home cooks often learn it from their parents. Like,
oh, yeah.
I'm quite passionate about cooking, and I learned it from my parents as well.
Oh, good. Well, you should cook. I mean, there's no reason that. There's a lot of good male cooks, by the way.
There is. That is true.
Yeah, they
And
are.
life is too short to eat bad food.
Yeah,
That's
and you
important.
need healthy food. You need healthy. This is.
I mean, that's less important than the taste aspect, but...
By the way, this is our Christmas show. So I'm wishing all of you a very, very Merry Christmas, a safe Christmas, and a very Happy New Year. And you notice my hat. It's a Christmas deer. Love it. I think that's pretty cooked.
It's looking sharp to me.
Yeah, I think that's nice and thick. So I'm going to turn it off. Okay, so here we go. Hazelnut streusel, it's called. And we have 1.5 cups of flour, which I have already measured and put into my bowl. And we have 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And we have 2/3 a cup of ground, almost ground, hazelnuts. And we have a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now you know how much I like cinnamon, so I always put more than a teaspoon. Just for fun. Just for fun. And stir that up. And then you see I have here the butter, which is cubed. And you actually have 2/3 of a cup of butter.
Do you use salted or unsalted butter for this?
I use salted butter, actually. So I plunk all that in. They tell me I'm like Julia Childs, but I don't know about that. So how's that doing there?
This is looking sharp, really thickening up.
Good. Well, this, and then I get, see
The
this?
smell is delicious.
Good. And so what I'm doing is making this crumble, or streusel.
So you just knead the butter into the flour?
Yeah, you just do. You rub it with your fingers and get it all nice and lumpy. Mix it.
Can you use a mixer to do this, or is it
No,
done by hand?
it's really done by hand. It's better to do it by hand because you have to squish the squares of butter and gel it into the flour. So this is quite an easy recipe, really. So I sold your parents their first house.
You did?
Oh my God, when you said Jordan, I said, oh yes, I did.
You sold them one of the last remaining wooden houses in Bermuda.
I did.
It's in a book.
It is in the Wooden House
It's
book?
in the Wooden Houses of Bermuda book.
How many years ago? 34 years ago.
1990, around that time.
Wow.
Yeah,
I do
grew
remember
up the
selling.
majority of my life in a little wooden cottage.
Oh, and it's so sweet.
It's the cutest wooden cottage that I think was on the island.
See how it gets crumbly?
Oh, that is looking
Yeah. So the objective is to blend the flour, the hazelnuts, and everything. So what we need to do next is I need you to pour that into the baking dish.
Okay,
Can you do that?
I can do that. Are we looking
It's
ready
looking-
for it?
Yep, we're all ready for it.
Okay,
Pour it in.
we're going for it.
Go for it. Good job.
Oh, the smell. That is just so good. Okay.
It's good stuff, and you can spread that around. That's in there so that it's all on one level. That's it. Good job, Mark. You're gonna not only an engineer, you're gonna be a good cook.
Just such a diverse skill set. Can bake a crumble, inspect your home. Really, there's no limits.
Don't you love it? Okay, so
What's the next step?
So the next step is let's plunk all this over. There you go. So this is all it. Okay, and the goes into the oven, 350. There you go. So it goes into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And then you can serve it with ice cream or whipped cream, whatever you like. It's now 20 minutes and the crumble has cooked.
I'm excited.
And this is it.
Wow.
Voila. So, thank you again. It was really, really nice having you.
Thanks for having me, Fiona.
And,
really happy to be here.
I hope that you learned how to make strudel, crumble. A happy, happy Christmas again, and a very happy New Year to everybody, and to you, Mark, and to
You as well,
Colin.
Fiona.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely, lovely Merry Christmas.